And welcome to another on-the-road episode of Monday Movie Pickup. And this episode actually takes us to the Half Price bookstore in Roseville. This is towards southern Minnesota. This was, of course, before the mask mandate was lifted, so we are wearing masks. I see these Star Wars special edition full-screen gold editions all the time, and don't buy them because it's full screen. Please don't do it. I think I'm holding one of the sing-along tapes right now, and I'm trying to read exactly which sing-along songs are on it. Nothing special, but it's to be our guest one. And then there's these, of course, as always, overly priced Disney VHS tapes, and some others that are not from Disney. This is actually really cool. This was like about Roger and Hammerstein in the movies, so it's not about just the Sound of Music. It's actually about some of their other movies that were made into films as well, like The King and I. There's Cats, which for $6 I don't think it was worth getting, but who knows, that specific production might be the only time it was actually available on home video. That was a really cool cover for War Games. But of course I don't really get VHS tapes anymore. It's just fun to dig through them, see if I can find anything unique, or this sealed with the Kellogg's sticker still on it of Return of the Jedi. That's an individual release, which I don't know if that was packaged with all the other films and then sealed individually, but I never knew that they sold them individually. I always thought they were just together in the trilogy, so those were for the 1995 sets anyway. But yeah, as I looked through all that other stuff, I just couldn't find anything that I found to be unique. And then there's just piles of DVDs, and I can look through them, try to find something that's maybe only available on DVD, but at this point, if I really need something that's only on DVD, I'm gonna find out on my own without being in the store. Of course, I'm digging to the Laserdiscs, but we're actually at the same store we were at the last time we did an on-the-go episode, so a lot of these are kind of the same. There's a couple new ones like Midnight Clear. I don't think Gandhi was in there last time, but Heart and Souls. This has Robert Downey Jr. It's always cool to kind of see him in these movies when he was younger, but some of these are looking more familiar, like Sneakers, Moby Dick. Yeah, some of these were definitely here last time. So as you can tell, the Laserdiscs really don't go that fast, but there is some cool stuff like Raging Bull. Of course, another Jurassic Park, which I think that copy is actually better than the copy that I have. There's Cocoon, The Return, which confused me last time, so once again I checked to see if it was the sequel, and it is. It's only the sequel. That is a movie I'd like to get on Laserdisc because the Blu-ray is very expensive. Independence Day wasn't there last time, and I don't think Top Gun was either. I actually own Superman the movie on Laserdisc, so they have the sequel, but I only got the first one just because I have Batman, and I thought it was cool to have them side by side when I was able to display my Laserdiscs back when the movie shelf was upstairs. Airplane is a cool movie as well, but just, again, it's not worth owning on Laserdisc. I'm going to limit my purchases of Laserdiscs to anything that is not available on Blu-ray or DVD. There's Outbreak. Everyone watched that movie after the pandemic began, including myself. Or I'm going to get stuff that is just for movies I really like. But honestly, these MCA DiscoVision, so I had to actually look up what this was at first because I thought it was a different format, but it's actually just the way that these movies on Laserdisc were marketed. And some of the first movies to ever be released on Laserdisc were released on what they call DiscoVision. So these are actually some of the first blockbuster movies anyway that were available on Laserdisc. And there's actually a version of Jaws out there on DiscoVision that is the first movie, Hollywood movie ever released on Laserdisc. So I probably should have picked up one of those DiscoVision movies just because of the fact that they were the first time Laserdisc was a thing available in stores with movies from Hollywood, but can't get everything. And then we do have the Star Wars trilogy set here. This does come with the bonus discs from 2006. In fact, this set actually came out in 2006 in this collectible tin. I thought this tin was released in 2008, but I guess it actually came out the same year as the actual DVDs. This is the one that comes with the extra discs with the theatrical cuts, even though they're formatted for, classic Laserdisc quality and not for modern HD DVDs, but for $60 it's not bad. We also have Godzilla vs. Biollante for $100 with Monster and Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus. $100 for this set's not bad, but I don't really feel like paying $100 for one movie that I'm actually interested in, because I'd like to finish my Godzilla set. I have all the Godzilla movies except for this one, Godzilla vs. Biollante. Miramax originally had a deal with Echo Bridge, and they released a Blu-ray of it, but then they made a new deal with Lionsgate, and then, they released the movie, and then there was this version that had all 3 movies, and then they didn't have the rights to release it anymore. So I don't know if something happened between transferring over from Echo Bridge to Lionsgate, but there was also a point where Lionsgate also lost the rights to release all the Miramax films on Blu-ray, and then they just kind of weren't released for many, many years until recently when Paramount got the rights to release them all. But with this film, Miramax doesn't even technically own it, so I don't really know what the deal is. But for $100, I'm not paying it. Hopefully Criterion will make a new Godzilla set in the future, or some other company gets the rights to the film, because clearly it's available. I mean, somebody has to release it eventually. Toho, you have to give up them rights at some point. Alright, back to the goods, because there's always got to be millions of copies of the same movie. Here's 101 Dalmatians. This is actually the Disney Movie Club exclusive. So they re-released the movie only for Disney Movie Club members after they finished doing the Disney Signature Collection. They were trying to rush it out just because of Disney Plus and all the movies were going to be available again. So I guess I kind of get why they felt the rush to finally get it out in some way. Get everyone a chance to buy it on Blu-ray. They have way too many copies of like every Batman movie. Always tons of Back to the Futures. And you got Astro Boy, which I don't think many people remember, or Arctic Dogs, which I swear I think I'm one of the only people who actually saw that thing in theaters. But yeah, basically what I'm really focusing on is finding things like Criterion discs or Warner Archive discs, something from the lesser-known companies like Cohen Media. I get a lot of Cohen Media ones here, and sometimes there's some anime that's pretty hard to find. Yeah, I didn't really like when Pixar did those new covers for all their movies. Yeah, it's so hard to dig all these Despicable Me movies, which I don't even have them all, but I'd rather look for an actual collection that has them. Here's the Fast and the Furious trilogy, back when it actually was a trilogy. It's kind of cool to see, but it's long been, a longer series than just a trilogy at this point. I'm surprised Blu-ray was even existent at the time when they released a trilogy set, so that's news to me. Here's Hocus Pocus. So this is actually a new version of the Blu-ray they released a couple years ago that has special features. If you got the first version of that movie on Blu-ray many years back, it didn't have special features. And then because the movie's so popular, they released a new version of the disc, and now there's special features. Here's an Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull release I've never seen before. They always have the 2-disc versions out there, but this one actually comes with a photograph book of some of the different set photos. I did look through it and it just isn't worth it to me. Here's something called How to Train Your Dragon 1, which I thought was kind of weird, but I guess maybe for other countries it helps to differentiate them. I don't know why I'm in the kids' books right now though. There's Waldo. Alright, so now there's always, TV shows in the mix, which I don't really get TV shows on physical media anyway. I've been seeing a lot of Denzel movies lately on Blu-ray, so maybe I got to start watching some of his filmography. Was that Scenes from a Mall, actually? That's a Blu-ray I see at the Pawn America in town all the time. They're show dogs. I probably should own that movie at this point. This is actually in the clearance section, and as I'm apparently sloping sideways as I look through the films, Girl on the Train, that is a weird case where I literally have seen that movie, but I don't remember seeing it until I started rewatching it. So it happens rarely, but yeah, the movie was pretty forgettable, I guess. X-Men 1.5, which makes you think that's like an extended version of the film, but it's not. It's just a special edition of the film on DVD with the extra disc. So no, it's not like Spider-Man 2.1 where it's a whole new cut, or at least with additional scenes. There are so many Disney films, it's kind of crazy. And then you always get these, not Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, but I'm talking about all these VHS tapes that have similar, bindings, which usually it's an educational series that some grandparent out there finally decided to give up. And that Land Before Time cover has always been awesome. Just digging through the clearance, the Halloween Tree, I actually had to look this up because I wasn't sure if it had a DVD release, but it does, so I just don't see the point of getting it on VHS. Gotta love covers like that. Then we have, it's kind of weird what they decide should be down here versus, in clearance versus upstairs with the other VHS tapes. And I did just get Roman Holiday on Blu-ray, and there's always some cool Wallace and Gromit stuff, but as we can see here, I'm starting to put the video in reverse because we've actually ran out of footage. So I hope you enjoyed this episode on the go. These are kind of tougher to do because I gotta just think of what I was thinking about in the moment. I don't really like talking in person at the store, but maybe someday I'll be brave enough to do that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the video, and special shout out to Lauren, Anthony, Anna, Kirsten, Spencer, Lucas, Ryan, and Robert for supporting me on Patreon. By joining my Patreon, you can get exclusive blogs and videos, and for just $7, you can get your own monthly movie review. I hope you stick around, Cinephile, and have a happy, productive day.